Hi everyone, John here. Welcome along to another video. I just played through what we're going to do today. This is going to be an easy blues soloing piece in the key of E, something you can play when someone asks you, you play guitar, play me something. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm doing a little riff and I'm going round really like a 12-bar blues. So here's the riff. Okay, now what I'm doing here is, I'm playing this very simply at first. I'm playing open high E, 3 on the B to open B, and then 2 on the G, 2 on the D. So far we've got this. Here's the last few notes. Open G, 1st fret on the G to 2 on the D. All right. So this lick, if I play it plain, sounds like this. Okay, now what we can do is, just because it's simple, we want to make a way of making it sound a bit cooler. So what we can do is we can bend this 3rd note here. I'm not going to touch this E for now. So see, I'll bend that note a little bit. And then for this next note, instead of doing that, I could do that. I'm going to slide into the 2nd fret. So if I put those 2 bits together. Okay, now this next 3 notes, what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to hammer on from open G to the 1st fret on the G. Okay, let's hear how that sounds. Sounds a bit cooler now. One other thing you could consider doing is on that 3rd fret on the B, adding what we call a rake. A rake is where you mute all the strings here and you just play that B, so everything else is muted with your right hand. That would sound like this. Okay, here's the next little bit. What I'm doing here is 4, 5, 4, 2 on the A string, but what I'm doing is I'm also playing the low E2. So let's put that together. Now, what you can do to make that a little bit cooler is, instead of, I'm going to add the open E and the open A before each one. That sounds complicated, doesn't it? That's going to sound like this. So can you see I play the open E, open A, 4, and then open again, 5, 4 again. That doesn't sound very good slow, does it? Hope you get the idea from that. So you're going to do that bit 2 times, right? Now we're going to move on to an A chord. The lick or riff is going to be exactly the same though, but what we're going to do is we're going to finish on an A note. So that note here on the 2nd fret is an A note. By the way, when you finish that first one is an E note. All right, so I'm finishing on an A note. And then I'm going to play an A7 chord. This one, if you bar down on the 2nd fret over the D, G, B strings, and then I use my 3rd finger here on the 3rd fret of the high E, and that sounds like this. And you can bend that one a little bit to that 3rd fret. That one tends to come up a bit too, so that would sound like this. Right, that's the A7 chord. Then we're going to go back to the E chord, same riff. You can do that riff again. Now we're going to go to the ending, which is a B7 chord. That's going to sound like this, same riff. Apart from we've just shortened it a little bit. So we're playing this first bit, open E, that little rake on 3 on the B to open B, and then we're going to go, so we're going 2 on the G, 1 on the G, back to 2 on the G, 3 on the G. Why am I doing that? That note is a B, so I'm kind of walking up to it. Then I'm going to play a B7 chord. B7 chord is 2 on the A, 1 on the D, 2 on the G, 2 on the high E. Sounds like that. All right. And then I'm going to finish with the E riff again. But instead of doing that at the end, I'm going to do this kind of turnaround idea. What that is 5 on the A to the open E, and then you go back to the A. You could use your thumb and your you know, kind of third finger if you like. I'm using my pick and my fingers there, so that would be. And then to go down to 4, open E 4, 3, 3, open E 3, and stop on the 2. Then I'll finish with, this is a E7 chord, but just move up 1. Then I use the whammy bar and I hit the low E to kind of finish, so that might help. All right, so there we go. I'm going to play it all for you again slowly, just so you can hear how the bits go. All right. 2, 3, 4. There we go. So with that last phrase, you can kind of get slower with that to kind of, you know, give it a bit more dynamics. So when you play these things, just because they're simple, they can still sound cool, you know. So just see if you can add little things like these bends. You could also bend that note on the 2nd fret. You could do this. That's a little bit harder because you've got to kind of grab that 2 on the D. So that one I did a little hammer on. You could maybe even slide to that one. Some of these little embellishments, quite tricky when you're just getting used to the notes. So get used to each section simply at first, and even really slow. Now when you get that comfortable and you don't have to think about it too much, that's when you can start adding these other things like these bends. Or you could slide into that one, or even hammer it. So give that a go, see how you go, let me know how you get on the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. By the way, the tabs for this are on my Patreon page if you're interested in that. If you can subscribe, that would be really, really great. Thanks a lot. Nice to see you guys, and see you next episode.